होगा।
وأنكحوا الأيام منكم والصالحين من عبادكم وإمائكم إن يكونوا فقراء يغنهم الله من فضله والله واسع عليم. وليستعفف الذين لا يجدون نكاحا حتى يغنيهم الله من فضله والذين يبتغون الكتاب مما ملكت أيمانكم فكاتبوهم إن علمتم فيهم خيرا وآتوهم مما لله الذي آتاكم ولا تكرهوا فتياتكم على البغاء إن أردنا تحصنا لتبتغوا أرض الحياة الدنيا ومن يكرههن فإن الله من بعد إكراههن غفور رحيم. ولقد أنزلنا إليكم آيات مبينات ومثلا من الذين خلوا من قبلكم وموعظة للمتقين. And say to the grieving women that they cast down their looks and guard their private parts and do not display their ornaments except what appears thereof. And let them wear their head coverings over their bosoms and not display their ornaments except to their husbands or their fathers, or the fathers of their husbands or their sons, or the sons of their husbands, or their brothers, or their brothers' sons, or their sisters' sons, or their women, or those whom their right hands possess, or the male servants not having need of women, or the children who have not attained knowledge of what is hidden of women. And let them not strike their feet, so that what they hide of their ornaments may be known. And turn to Allah, all of you, O believers, so that you may be successful. And marry those among you who are single, and those who are fit among your male slaves and your female slaves, if they are needy. If they are needy, Allah will make them free from want out of His grace, and Allah is ample giving, knowing. And let those who do not find the means to marry keep chaste until Allah makes them free from want out of His grace. And as for those who ask for a writing from among those whom your right hand possess, give them the writing if you know any good in them, and give them of the wealth of Allah which He has given you. And do not compel your slave girls to prostitution when they desire to keep chaste in order to seek the frail good of this world's life. And whoever compels them, then surely after their compulsion, Allah is forgiving merciful. And certainly we have sent to you clear communications and a description of those who have passed away before you, and an admonition to those who guard against evil.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله على أفضل الأنبياء وأشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المكرمين، لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين. روحي وأرواح العالمين له الفداء. عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف وجعلنا من خير أعوانه وأنصاره وشيعته. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. سيد السلام. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. I invited brothers and sisters tonight to speak about azadari for Abu Abdullah Hussein salawatullah wa salamuhu alayh, and especially about the thing that concerns us about Matam Zanjir. My speech consists of sections. First of all, I want to shed light a little bit on the orders that we have received from our Imams alayhi salam about the mourning for Abu Abdullah Hussein salawatullah wa salamuhu alayh. In the second part, I would like to speak about the fatawa of our maraji and our leader concerning wahn mazhab. And the third part of my speech is about the request of a community that consists of groups of Muslim people. So what does such a community need? At the end, before I recite Rawza for Abu Abdullah Hussein salawatullah wa salamuhu alayh, we have received a proposal from one of the honored members of our community concerning the Matam Zanjir, that I would like him to address you and speak about this proposal, and afterwards I would recite Matam for Abu Abdullah Hussein salawatullah wa salamuhu alayh. Sayyid salam. This azadari mourning for Abu Abdullah Hussein is one of the most virtuous things in Islam and in Shia. And no one can deny azadari for Abu Abdullah Hussein as one of the greatest sha'a'ir of the religion, banners of the religion. And this azadari that Shia people, they do, and they used to do from a long time, it takes its roots from the sayings of our Imams. They encourage people. They encourage us to do azadari for Abu Abdullah Hussein. And it is in its nature, it is a connection between the holy feelings of us and the holy feelings of Abu Abdullah Hussein and his companions and Bani Hashim who got killed, who got martyred in the Kaaba. So there is a connection between us. This connection should remain. In this ziyarat of Ashura, that it is mustahab to be recited in the day of Ashura, and not only the day of Ashura, because kullu yawmin Ashura wa kullu ardin Karbala, every day is Ashura and every place is Karbala. They recommended us to recite this ziyarah every day. This part of the ziyarah that I recited, this ziyarah has many ideas, very good ideas in it. Parts of it are worthy of discussion and speech. I mentioned this part that is recited 100 times, and the part before that. 2 parts of this ziyarah is recited 100 times. The first part is the part of bara'ah from the enemies of Abu Abdullah Hussein, the ones who oppressed Ahlul Bayt, not only Abu Abdullah Hussein, the one who established oppression against Ahlul Bayt. The first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, and Yazid, who was the 5th one. So we cursed them 100 times. Allahumma al'an awwala zalimin zalama haqqa Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad wa akhira tabi'in lahu ala dhalik. Allahumma al'an al-asabata allati jahadat al-Husayn. Oh Allah, curse the people who fought with Imam Hussein. وَشَايَعَتْ وَبَايَعَتْ وَتَابَعَتْ عَلَىٰ. The ones who helped, curse them. Allahumma al'anhum jami'a. Allah, curse them all. We say it 100 times. In the second time, the second part that is again recited 100 times in Ziyarat Ashur, we say, Assalamu alayka ya Abu Abdullah. O Abu Abdullah, our salam to you. وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك, and to the souls that they came down, they became martyred on the door of the step door of you, the followers of you, the companions of you. عليك مني سلام الله, the salam from Allah on behalf of me to you. أبدا ما بقيت, as long as I stay in this world, وَبَقِيَ اللَّيْلُ وَالنَّهَارُ, and as long as the day and the night is there. It means that this banner should be there, this flag should be there until the day of judgment. وَلَا جَعَلَهُ اللَّهُ آخِرَ الْعَهْدِ مِنِّي لِزِيَارَتِكُمْ. I pray that Allah doesn't put this ziyarah, the last ziyarah of me, to you. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. In dua nudbah, in the prayer of nudbah, we say فَلِمِثْلِهِ فَلْتَضْرَفِ الدُّمُوعُ وَلْيَصْرُخِ الصَّارِخُونَ. The thing that is emphasis in the morning for Abu Abdullah Hussein is crying and weeping. If you count the sayings of Imams, that how they emphasis on crying for Abu Abdullah Hussein, and the virtue of the ones who make people cry for Abu Abdullah Hussein, you would find hundreds of them in the different groups that we have. And we have Latimat al-Wujud from at the Asra Ashura, the Ahl Bayt Abu Abdullah Hussein, once they heard that Abu Abdullah Hussein became martyred, they were the first mourners of Abu Abdullah Hussein. So in the Riwayah says, they came out Latimat al-Wujud. They started beating themselves like this. Latimat al-Wujud. And they teared their clothes. And in this Riwayah says, فَلِمِثْلِهِ, for someone like Abu Abdullah Hussein, an Imam, infallible Imam, like Abu Abdullah Hussein, who was son of the Prophet, they have to do so. And it is recommended to do so. These are the things that is recommended in the morning for Abu Abdullah Hussein, salawatullah, salamullah. Of course, there are some a'mal for the day of Ashura that it is mustahab. It is recommended that you do them. For example, you don't make fast. Keep fast. Don't keep fast, but don't eat anything. And only at the end of the day, you break. The same thing that we have. It is recommended. This tradition is honored. This Faqa Shekani that you have, it is the same thing that it is recommended in the Riwayah. It is there. So if you go around the Shia countries all around the world and see these things that has come in the Riwayah and are recommended, they are the basic things that we are ordered to keep them. These are the basic things. As the history went on, some groups of people from themselves, they started creating some new things for mourning for our Abdullah. And because these things could fall under under the subject of showing the feelings for our Abdullah, showing the sadness for our Abdullah. So they were accepted. Something like Sinazani that we have. This Sinazani, if you go all around the world and search in the countries, are nearly the same. These are good things. You have to keep them. These are good. But there are some other things that people made them and were accepted traditionally. And ulama, they didn't say don't do that in that time, in a certain time. These were not recommended, especially by imams, to say go ahead and do this. No, these were not the things. You cannot find these kind of things in Riwayah that says go and do this and that. Some of the things that we thought that it is for the good, for the benefit of our Abdullah, saying is good for our people, so we established that sunnah, that tradition, and people accept. But in a certain time came some situations that there are some of these things that we made. We can change the way of doing it. But it became, because of the nature of it, it became a means in the hands of the enemies of Islam to propagate against Shia. I was studying in one of the books of called Sheikh Abbas Qummi, Ridwanullah Ta'ala Alayhi. You have to know, all of you know, because you are familiar with this book, Mafatihul Janan, that is all over the Shia countries. This book, wherever you find a Quran, you can find Mafatih besides it. And this man was amazing in ikhlas and in intention of him, that he created a book that became the sister of Quran. He's a very pious man. I don't want just now to speak about how he was pious. He has a book. Its name is Muntahal Amal. The meaning of this in Arabic, Muntahal Amal, is the last wishes. End of the wishes. This book is about the history of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. And it has a section about Abu Abdullah Hussein and Karbala, and many people, if you ask Molana John Ali Kazemi, he is familiar with this book, and he would speak about the significance of this book among ulama. Many ulama and Ahl Minbar, they use this book. I was studying this book today. He has, at the end of the section concerning Karbala, he has a section speaking about the manner of mourning for Abu Abdullah Hussein. And exactly he has this recommendation that this mourning for Abu Abdullah Hussein, after he put the emphasis on the mourning and azadari for Abu Abdullah Hussein, he recommends the groups of Shia that you have to omit the things that he has mentioned. Other countries that they are putting, he has the same word, they put your actions under under this devices for making things bigger, microscopes or under microscopes. They put your actions under this. You have to omit the thing that, first of all, is not shar'i. The things you have to purify your rituals, your traditions from these kind of things, and he named some of them. But it was very interesting for me that he mentioned the same thing that today they speak about as wahn madhab. Wahn madhab meaning belittling madhab. I have spoken about this and I'm going to speak about this tonight, inshallah. So these are the whole things. Why I said this? Because I want to clarify this point that if we want to change some of the ways of doing matam, it doesn't mean that we want to destroy all the things, we want to negate the mourning for Abu Abdullah Hussein. No. God forbid that we stay one day without mourning for Abu Abdullah Hussein. God kill us if we want to do that, have this intention. We want to glorify, to purify the ways that we intended. This is not the intent, the thing that Imams order us. If you think that these kind of things that we do, all of them are recommended by Imams, it's not so. You have to correct your mind. The thing that is recommended and they have told us are those several things that I told you. Weeping for Imam Hussein salawatullah alayhi, to be sad in heart and to beat yourself like this or like this. That we do sinazani all over the world and to tear the clothes. These are the things that is recommended. Our Imams have said, and they did it. And reciting poems for Abu Abdullah Hussein in order to make people cry. And reciting matam for Abu Abdullah, they recommended. They ordered us to do that. And until the day is there, the night is there, we have to do that. Without any doubt. No one can say you have to cease that. No. It's not possible. But rather the way of doing it. During the process of the time can be changed. And this is not the changing the thing that Imams have ordered us. We have to think that what is proper for what time and what place. And recommend it. And our action shows, alhamdulillah, in the Muharram time, you all brothers and sisters, you are witness that we had very profound and very fantastic things. Matam was there, Minbar was there, reciting poems was there, classes, that these classes that some people, I heard that they say, why you put classes for, separate classes for children or for daughters, for girls or for boys, separate classes. These classes is about Karbala. If you cannot control your children besides yourself. If you can control them, take them with you. Let them make benefit of the majlis of Abu Abdullah Hussein. But if it is, they are going to move around and make trouble, what better than this? That we put them in a class, and God is witness that this year, 10 days of Ashura, you can ask your children. We spoke a whole history story of Abu Abdullah Hussein of Karbala for children. So it is not questionable, this kind of thing. I mentioned that in the Farsi English program that we had, every night, I deliberately, and it is my manner or my habit, whenever I speak on member, I have to remind people of the Karbala and Abu Abdullah, and I do that. Even though I am novice in English, I cannot speak that good and explain all the things. I force myself to do the matam for Abu Abdullah Hussein, and I hope that Abu Abdullah accepts. You are not against our Azadari for Abu Abdullah Hussein. If we recommend you brothers and sisters to change a way of doing something, it doesn't mean that we want to destroy Azadari. No, it's not. I brought an example, and I would like to bring it again. A story they say, and as an example, there were two brothers. They had a jar of milk. They wanted to drink this milk. One of them said, we have to boil this and drink it hot. The other said, we have to put it in the refrigerator and drink it cold. You have to drink the milk. The milk of love of Abu Abdullah Hussein. The thing that Ahlul Bayt had ordered us to do is to drink his milk. Drink it hot or drink it cold. If there is a time that you cannot drink it hot because of one reason, you have to say, okay, I have to drink this milk. I can't drink it cold even though on my taste it is not so good. It is milk and it has the ingredients of milk. I have to drink it. But these two brothers, they didn't think wisely. They went to quarrel. They started beating each other. The jar of milk spoiled. I do not like that our community becomes an example like this. And I'm sure that none of you want to do so. Mourning for our Abdullah Hussein is the core of our religion. But the way of doing it is not the core. We can change the way. And that is why Amir al-Mu'mineen says, if you want to, Salawatullah, don't be proud of your way of doing things. Put away the crown of pride. Be humble. Come together. This is the way that we have to work. The second thing that I would like to bring about and has the connection, and I think that I take the way to speak about this second thing in my first section of my speech, is the issue of wahn mazhab. To put down the mazhab by doing something. Some of the things that we have is necessary, obligatory. We have to do it. Cannot say if I do it, It can maybe فهم مذهب. No. Something we have to avoid. You cannot say that if I avoid it, maybe they say you are a low man and your religion is low. For example, drinking wine. If you are in a majlis, in a session that they drink wine, you have to go out. Don't pay attention to these things. But there are something that is mubah. You can do it, you cannot do it. You can choose to do it or not to do it. Even something is recommended, perhaps it is better to do it. But here, some situation comes for that doing this, other people that are observing us cannot digest it. And you don't have any way to justify it, to explain it. What do you do? This issue of Bahl Mazhab is not a new thing. I spoke about it another time. I said, who among you, who is the person who can wear amama and go to his office and work with people? It is mustahab. It is recommended. Wear amama. It was the way of the sunnah of Rasulullah. The sunnah of Ahlul Bayt. They used to wear amama. So, I have something else position because my job is here with you. My job is here. If I had to go to an office, to some other place, I have to change my clothes. So, what is your response to this? You hear? Another example that I said, to it with hand. If you are invited in a session with honored people from other religions, it happens. And you order halal pizza or something that is proper. Or for example, rice or something. They use here to eat with forks and spoons, or so you start eating with hand. Do you do that? It's recommended. The Bible said do it. And even after eating, lick your hands. Do you do it? Why you don't do it? Because you know that there isn't any way to justify this. You cannot explain it to people. If other people say, yes, if they say this individual is doing it, no problem, you can do it. But if you say, as a Muslim, I am doing this, you say, what a religion they have. Even though maybe scientists afterward they find out that eating with hands is very beneficial and it is good for health. Licking hands is good. But you don't do it. Why? Because it belittles mazhab. You do not want a special fatwa for this. That you say, unless I get the fatwa from my marja that it is belittling mazhab, I don't avoid it, I do it. So you can, if you think a little bit about things, you can understand that what is belittling mazhab, what is not. These issues that came forth was after this swift progress of Shia. You may not believe it, but in this 10 years ago, 15 years ago, after the revolution, Islamic revolution of our people, Muslim people, Shia people all around the world, because all people had after the revolution, for this swift progress. Even some people who are not formally, they didn't embrace tashadduq, but they have said and declared that we have the same religion that this man has. Imam. They became Shia. So powers, they are saying that Shia is progress, alhamdulillah. They don't say. And they say they don't hide it. They say our first enemy in the world is this Shia, because you are under magnifier. This word was the same thing that I don't know what it's a magnifier. Our actions are under magnifiers. They want to find a tiny thing and magnify it. So we are there. The notion of taqiyya is for what? If we shouldn't do taqiyya in this situation, where and when we have to do taqiyya. So we don't have any taqiyya in Islam. Yes, we have. Our Imam has said, "At-taqiyyatu min dini wa min dini abai." Taqiyya is from my religion and is the religion of Ahlul Bayt, my fathers. So where we want to, and I have seen something that they say in the hadith of Ahlul Bayt, they say the sin of not observing taqiyya is a big sin. That is hard to be forgiven. And Ahlul Bayt insulted some people who didn't consider taqiyya. So what taqiyya would have? So is it the proper way of treating our leaders, our maraji, if they say don't do this way? The things that happen, I don't want to say. Some other places. Dishonor ulama and dishonor maraji. Is it way of mourning for Abu Abdullah Hussein? Is Abu Abdullah Hussein satisfied with these actions? Or the blame is on us? Someone who asked for money and they didn't give him money. He said, I would go and I would do the opposite thing that Rahbar is saying. For 200,000 rupees. Who are we following? These people who are working for money are the ones who are thinking about the whole existence of Shia. We do not touch and feel the real danger that is for us in the world. So we don't consider why. Who we want to follow? This issue of Rahna Mazhab. Some people who want to play. If I want to play with a thing, I can't play anyway. Generally, they have spoken. If something is Rahna Mazhab, it is haram for you to do it. You have, or boys, you have to know. And they have spoken about the examples of this. And they have said the things like this is Rahna Mazhab. Don't do it. So you search for, no, they have to say exactly